Welcome to Time Will Tell astrology classes. This is an introduction class that I'm offering to give everyone a glimpse on how the classes will be formatted, and I hope you enjoy this little introduction. And my goal is to help people understand astrology from an esoteric point of view and also from an alchemic point of view. And I'm walking everybody through the basics right up to being able to decode more advanced esoteric knowledge, like through the Kabbalah tree. And so this is just an introduction, and I'm excited that so many people have decided to sign up. Now, if you haven't signed up or you are finding this knowledge maybe is too basic for you and you want to sign up for the later classes, you're welcome to do that. You're also welcome to just purchase the recorded classes anytime. And if you want to come into the live classes, you can register with me, and there's a free question period at the end of the classes, and we can discuss the topic of that class. So this is the little introduction. I hope you enjoy. This is really the basics of understanding and how to memorize the symbols. So I hope you enjoy, and don't forget to message me. You can email me at crystal-tyme24@gmail.com to get more information on the times of the classes. And I'd like to try to allow the classes to be running so people from Europe and also from Australia can all be in on the classes. So we're going to have to find a specific time that everybody has the ability to get in on the classes, the live classes, and they will be done on Zoom. So don't forget to message me, and let's enjoy this journey together and start to really understand astrology and how to use it to make our lives better. Oh, I did misquote in this clip about Psalms 11:9. I always reverse it and go 9:11 because that's the way I memorize it. But yeah, so it is Psalms 11:9. Welcome to Time Will Tell astrology classes. I'm finally getting this online school going for you guys. I'm so excited to finally bring it to you. So we're going to go through astrology in a way that you can use it and understand how it's being used through mythology. And it's like as above, so below. And everything that's happening in the sky is a mirror of what's happening in our reality. And this knowledge has kind of been hidden from us so that we don't understand the big wheel in the sky, which was the original television set. So what this school is hoping to do for you guys is understand how it's easy to memorize astrology and to think in astrology terms. And then once you know how to do that, we can start to use it in modalities that can help you learn to heal yourself. You can also know yourself better through this astrology, through your wheels. And then you can kind of say, oh, that's why I don't feel this way today, because this planet is in this position. And you can start to really understand your body and how it relates to the astrology. Now, what I've noticed that, is really amazing is that astrology decodes a portion of the Bible, which most people don't understand, that it's in a system of the Kabbalah tree, which is all to do with philosophy of life and how to find your path to connect yourself back to source or to God. Okay, so it is a spiritual modality that is kind of being demonized, right? Or kind of used as a way of, it's like it's all nonsense. And it's not. It really is spiritual. And once you understand that the planets are in your body through the chakra system, and then you can start to know why, if you have something in your health house, like your sixth house, why certain parts of your body, because that's in your sixth house, that constellation's in your sixth house, why you're getting health issues in that part of your body. There's ways of using astrology. So this is what I'm so excited to bring the basics understanding of it so we can start to go into those more in-depth modalities and learning how to use it. So the first thing you need to know is how to remember what planets rule each constellation. And there's a trick to remembering it, and I've explained it here on the board where I've written out all the constellations so you can understand which symbols rule, go with each constellation. This is your base that you need to know to start to be able to read wheels and to know, what each symbol represents. Okay, so the first understanding is that there's only one constellation ruled by the sun. This is the sun, and which is Leo, and there's only one constellation ruled by the moon, which is Cancer. And in Freemasonry, these are the two pillars. You always see two pillars in Freemasonry in the tracing boards. So the male pillar is the sun, and the female pillar is Cancer, the moon. And then you can see this up in the elements. This is fire and water. Okay, these are the symbols. And you have to memorize these symbols to get a good grasp of being able to read astrology. And so what I've done here, instead of putting it on a round circle and just saying, well, this rules this rules that, and you just need to memorize it, I'm showing you how to memorize it, okay? So you split the sun and the moon, those are the two pillars, and then what flank the sun and the moon is Mercury. And this is because these planets are the closest, to the sun, like Earth would be here, okay? These are the inner planets, Mercury and Venus. And they move with the sun. Like they travel around at the same speed as the sun. Okay, so sometimes Mercury goes retrograde, he's behind the sun, sometimes he jumps in front of the sun, same as Venus. So these are they have a relationship with the sun. This is Hermes, Mercury, and Aphrodite, Venus, the hermaphrodite. Okay, so they're working with the sun. This is a way to know which ones are flanking the sun and the moon. You go, okay, it's Mercury and Venus, okay, because they travel with the sun. So understanding that they're flanking, which is Gemini, this is Gemini, and then Virgo. Okay, this is what's flanking the sun and the moon. And this is how you can kind of give yourself a little quiz and go, okay, who rules Gemini? And then you have to just remember, in the sky, okay, there's Cancer, we know the order of them. There's Gemini, then Cancer. Well, Gemini rules the moon. Oh, of course, it's next to the moon, it's Mercury. Okay, so this is a way to have ability to just kind of have an understanding of how to memorize it. So the next is Venus. So this is Libra, okay? And then this is Taurus. These are the two that are ruling from Venus, okay? The next is Mars. This is the Mars symbol. And this is Scorpio and Aries, okay? So it's in Mars, he has a fire, and he has a water, okay? Mercury, this is earth, and this is air, okay? So this is how you understand the elements, okay? Fire, and what makes fire go is air. So it's the same symbol, just with a line across, it's air. And water, what makes things grow in the earth is water. Okay, and then you have it's upside down triangle, it's water with a line through it, so that's earth. So then you start to see the elements of how they work as well. And this is where it gets a little bit tricky. You have to not only know Libra is ruled by Venus, but air. Okay, and then once you know this, you can start to understand what they represent. And because, air has an element of like spiritual. It's like, it's floating. It's like, it's kind of this aspect to it. Earth is more grounded, right? It's more stable, right? So then you start to understand, okay, Virgo is very stable because it's earth. Okay, same as Taurus, very, very stable. It's earth. Okay, so then we have Jupiter. This is a Jupiter symbol. This actually is the logo for the 2024 Olympics. And this is Sagittarius and Pisces. Okay, so this is fire and water. This is mutable cross. And you can start to see now we have the crosses up here. Okay? This is Jupiter rules mutable, mutable. It's kind of interesting. I'll talk about the mutable crosses, and I'll put them on a circle so you can understand them better on a circle format. Now the last one that flanks everything is Saturn. He's Saturn. Who is Saturn? It's Cronus, the god Cronus, and he's the keeper of time. He's the god of the golden age. He's the one that gives you the key to get to the golden age. Okay? Who holds the key is Capricorn. Capricorn holds the key. And on the tarot cards, because astrology decodes all the tarot cards, this would be the devil card. Okay? He holds the key. Okay? So this is also Earth. Okay? Very, very stable, very, very grounded, because you need to be connected to nature to get the key. Okay? If you're not in nature, you're not going to find the key. Okay, this is very important. You have to be grounded and be in tune with Mother Nature. Okay, the other Saturn is Aquarius. This is on the fixed cross, and it's air. This is actually the phoenix. You have to pull yourself out of the fixed cross. Okay, so and the fixed cross is what we live in, I believe. It's male dominant. If you notice here, it's the sun is the fire symbol. Okay, and then the water symbol would be Scorpio, fixed cross. And you can see the F up here, I put fixed. And then the air is, the earth is Taurus, and then we have air is Aquarius. Okay, so this is the fixed cross, and it represents the phoenix. There's other 3 planets that rule, which would be Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto. Okay, so they go on here too, but I don't want to confuse you with that right now. They fit on top of this. Okay, they get added in, but this is the old original way that what planets ruled each constellation. And so the modern version, they wouldn't have Saturn here. They would have Uranus here. Okay, they'd pull him out and swap him with Uranus. But you need to understand it from this point of view so that you can memorize it, right? It has and then we just add the other 3 in on top. So the next portion I'm going to of the school is I'm going to show you how the crosses work and how they are represented in the pillar format and also on the wheel. And I've actually had somebody create a nice format of how to see that through the pillars. I had that all drawn up for you guys to have that through your schooling so that you can keep it and see it from that point of view. Okay, so that will be the next section. But I really hope that you stay with the course from beginning to end, because if you skip portions, you're going to lose the whole foundation of how to see astrology and to use it. And you need to understand it from the really beginning so that you don't get confused and miss parts of it. Because once I show you how to use all this, you can, go into the Kabbalah and really start to know when they kind of swap things in the wrong place. You'll start to go, no, that constellation doesn't represent that. It represents this. Because when you buy books on the Kabbalah tree, they usually make a little error in part of the planets and how they go with the Kabbalah tree. And you can start to see where they're kind of tricking you, because it's a bit of a game to finding truth, right? You have to be using your logic and your intuition. So once you understand astrology, you can start to know what the feeling of the planet. Like Leo is male, it's the sun, it's the bright sun. The moon represents ancestral memory. It's water. Water holds memory, right? It rules water. So this Cancer rules the family house. Okay? So you start to realize that the sun rules romance. And so, you can start to see, wow, this is all working in how you look at each constellation. And then what's really exciting, and if you've been listening to my channel, you'll start to realize there's mythology to each constellation. There's history from all different cultures in the world and parts of the sky, and there's different meanings to each constellation that isn't told to us, right? Because they're just trying to make it like a flat format. Oh, this is just astrology, you know, it has no depth, it has no history, but they all have history. And it's so exciting when you start to know them through the stories of the sky. Because really, that's how you learn, right? That's how our ancestors taught us, was through stories. And that's children's stories. That's how you learn. And once you know the astrology and the mythology, you'll see that every single nursery rhyme and every single movie that you watch is relating to astrology and the mythology that goes with it. So it's very, very exciting to start to have that information at your fingertips and just in your intuitive mind. And I think that's kind of why we've been disconnected from the sky. Because when you see the sky as a storybook, your intuition mind, your right side of your mind, your feminine mind is more highly tuned. Okay, and then you start to get a more of a relationship with the higher self. Right? And then you can start to follow your instincts more. And therefore, when you do that, you have a better health in your body. And then when you do that, you create more success in your life. So it's like a way of healing yourself and giving you a pathway to making your life better. Okay, so that's why it's so exciting to see it from a storybook point of view. So I'm hoping this will really help you understand philosophy, because it all goes back to philosophy. And Carl Jung's archetypes all are in sequence to the tarot cards. It's amazing. And it's the same as, you know, I did a video on, I think it was Psalms 9:11. It's all coded to the tarot cards in order. Okay, so it's really amazing how it's kind of being demonized so that you just don't look at it, and therefore you don't know thyself. Okay, so this is really the whole thing about it, is to understand it so you can start to say, oh, on my chart I have, let's say, you know, I have Gemini in my heart, okay? So, you know, my heart's going to be a little bit more intellectual. How I am with my emotions and stuff, it's going to be more intellectual. You know, so you can start to really know why you are how you are. And this is so freeing in a way. It's a freeing aspect to saying, well, I'm different because, you know, I have this planet, you know, in this house. And so now I know why I'm like that. You know, a lot of times when people have Uranus in the first house, right? The first house is ruled by Aries, and they go this way, okay? So Aries rules the first house, and then it goes second, third, fourth, fifth. It goes from Aries this way, okay? So your head is always Aries. This is your personality, first house, okay? But it's easier to see on the circle, so I'll do it like that for you guys to understand it that way. But your body is all ruled by these these constellations. And then when you have a planet in there, there's another aspect to it, right? So then you start to see that your whole personality and your whole health system is all based on what these constellations and planets represent. And then you can really know thyself. So I'm excited to bring this to you. So this is just the first stage of just, you have to know and memorize this. This is something you have to do, and you can do it by trying to get a visual of this, understand that these are two pillars, and then there's the flanking. Once you can kind of pull, you know, I can just say to you, who rules Scorpio? And you can go, okay, and then where's Scorpio? And, oh, it's Mars, okay? And then you start to see it like that. And then you have to understand how to get the elements there too. It's always you know, fire, and then the next one starts, so it's like fire, water, flanks, fire, water, you know, and then you have the air and earth. This is how the elements always go. They always go in that order, okay? So if you start with Leo, you could say, oh, it's fire, then it's earth, air, water. It's always like that. So once you know fire, earth, air, water, fire, earth, air, water, it just repeats, right? So you go 4 over here, then it's fire, earth, air, water. And that's how you just memorize it. You just kind of know where it starts. Always start from the middle pillar. This is the space where you divide Leo, the sun, and the moon. And that's the best way to memorize right off the top of your head what's ruling and what element rules each constellation. So we'll get to the next lesson, and I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll just keep building until we can really start to decode stuff. And I'm excited to help you guys learn all that. Take care. Bye.